Dinosaur King is what you want to be, and this childhood show has definitely seen its highlights over the years. In all honesty, I don't think there's really too much of a bad episode. There are some like lukewarm episodes, but I don't think there's never been a bad episode. It's a show about dinosaurs with elemental abilities like they Pokemon out here, except they are not limited to just 5 moves, so it's actually kind of funny. But with that being said, this show has always been one of the key things about science, recreating dinosaurs, but being more powerful than what they are before, to the point where these guys could literally hold the power to destroy an entire multiverse and stuff like that. But I always thought, like, yo, would Shockwave actually enjoy this verse? Like, what if he just entered the verse? How would he, play about it, or how would he go about it? And well, that's what we're here to talk about today. What if Shockwave wasn't Dinosaur King? Now, again, this is not going to be a series. This is a one-time thing, just me kind of explaining it. Now, Shockwave, or the version of Shockwave we're going to use here, is easily from the one Transformers Prime. I think it's kind of obvious. It's the one on the thumbnail and stuff like that. So let's really talk about him. This Shockwave definitely has some of the, I guess you could say, more interesting intelligence feats, as he is one of the more intelligent, if not the smartest Decepticon, if not the smartest being within the entire franchise. This Shockwave has been able to do some of the most successful things that even the Autobots are like, yeah, we're going to copy that real quick. For starters, he made the Combiner program, meaning he was the first one to basically give Devastator life, and then Bruticus. And then the Autobots had to copy that and apparently made Superion and Defensor based off Shockwave schematics. But again, as we all know, the Autobots always had like some sort of better defensive firepower because of the Dinobots and stuff like that, or the Lightning Strike Collision Force or whatever. But at the end of the day, yeah, Shockwave was the one to actually create likely a large majority of the weapons as well, such as Gear Shredders, likely the Corruption or TK Corruption Cannon or something like that. But yeah, he created the Combiner program. He also created the Predacons by actually utilizing CNA from the Predacon fossils in order to basically Jurassic World the entire thing. And keep in mind, he also created the Dinobots by combining Predacon CNA with Dinosaur CNA, or DNA, if you will. So basically, he combined a T-Rex with a dragon, and you got Grimlock. Yeah, I just want y'all to really just let that sink in for a minute. Now, again, I do wonder what kind of Predacons he did use for each one, but at the end of the day, there's still Predacon DNA within the Dinobots. And then we also have alternate timelines of Transformers Prime, where he actually combined the Predacon, program with the Combiner program and gave birth to Hunger. Then we also know that during this Fall of Cybertron game, he created his own cannon, which will again go on to be his Hyperflux cannon, which was actually confirmed to rival that of Megatron's, which actually is pretty important. And he also created the Insecticon Bruisers, which were known to rival Grimlock. Keep in mind, he also created the thing like the space bridge, like on a grand scale. He actually created the space bridge, and then was actually able to get it working again as well, because all the Cybertrons, Energon and stuff was kind of down for a bit, but then he found a different Energon reservoir. So yeah, Shockwave himself just has absolutely haunting intellectual feats. By far the smartest person in the verse, because how do you recreate a whole, or create a whole new species of Cybertronian, then you also create a new species of Insecticon, bring back an extinct species to life, and then create basically a super soldier program, and still has enough time to create weapons? This man is horrifyingly smart. And again, I wonder why he's never taken over the Decepticons with that kind of intelligence. But again, I do think it is stated that Shockwave just thinks that Megatron is logically the best leader for the Decepticon cause. But again, he should be, very terrifying altogether. So with that being said, how would Shockwave interact with the beings of Dinosaur King? Now, you might say, obviously, he's going to be a part of the Alpha Gang, but nah, I don't think so. The Alpha Gang is filled with idiots. Even the likes of Dr. Z, I would actually say he's also an idiot. He's basically like Plankton, in my opinion. He's a smart but dumb guy, if you guys get what I mean. Now, the person I really think he is going to have the best chemistry, or the best both rivalry and what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you could say intellectual conversation with, and definitely his experimentation partner is definitely going to be Zeth. Zeth, in my opinion, is definitely smarter than the likes of Dr. Z. I would definitely say he's the smartest person within the verse until he's corrupted by power, which obviously messes up with his mind. However, Shockwave himself doesn't have that kind of flaw, you know? When he experiments on something or he creates something, he doesn't panic. It's very possible that this Shockwave also has logically cut off his emotions so that he doesn't really feel the need to be corrupted by power. However, I think he and Zeth would be a very interesting pair because Zeth has created a lot of things. He was also responsible for creating the secret dinosaurs. He created a special move that was basically super devastating, and it had to enhance the Saurophagonex to basically be able to withstand this move as well, making the Saurophagonus one of the strongest dinosaurs in the show. He also created the Spectral Space Pirates and dinosaurs, even likely Brontokins as well, or the Apatosaurus. And then he also created a Cryolophosaurus, which is essentially I would probably say the strongest secret dinosaur to actually exist. But then we also have the alternate timeline of Dinosaur King, where he was also able to recreate the super dinosaurs, right? Or basically recreate their awakened states, and then also helping out the Alpha Gang and D Team, or the D Gang, or whatever they really want to call it. He also created the likes of Ketiosaurus and Abelisaurus, which were meant to be able to be sparring and training partners to the likes of these awakened dinosaurs, at least of the main cast. So, with that being said, I think it is pretty important that Zeth and Shockwave are seen as two of the smartest beings in the verse. Believe it or not, I think this version of Shockwave and Zeth are pretty much on the same level when it comes to intelligence. However, I do think Shockwave would get one up on him. Considering the fact that Cybertrons process information a lot faster than humans, not only will he be able to recreate likely his Regenesis program, like his IDW counterpart, or basically recreate his own Regenesis program with the likes of the Cosmos Stones, which are, their own universes that can easily control all of space and time, meaning they control every timeline imaginable. So, with that being said, with Shockwave probably discovering these Cosmos Stones, he could likely make his own Regenesis program and basically make a world where he could rule or basically just take over as a entire experiment. Now, do I think this Shockwave is likely more maddening than his IDW counterpart? No. That Shockwave, in all honesty, is a tragic character. Like, IDW Shockwave is like one of the most tragic characters in the franchise. Like he was a genuinely good person, and until the High Council like framed him and then ripped him apart and made him into an emotionless being that only deprived logic. And keep in mind, the High Council was the issue of Cybertron, and they did that to him because he was the only genuine member of the group. Like, he was the only good guy there. Now, if Shockwave does get the power of the Cosmos Stones, I think he would just warp all of time and space to just his liking. Possibly being like a Ultron in a way, except I don't think he would really just go on an organic nature or a genocide of all beings across the entire universe. No. I think he would manipulate time and space to where it's simply perfect, And it would definitely be a logical experiment. And I definitely think he would also have a time and space where humans essentially coexist with dinosaurs, or these superpowered dinosaurs, if you will. Not sure how that would look, but he would definitely be able to do it. Now you might say, oh, well, who would he use for minions? Now, it's very possible he could use the Spectral Space Pirates, or he could use Goma as one of his right-hand mans. And Goma also had one of the strongest dinosaurs, which was the Eorkarchira, who also had his own spectral armor, if you will, and then his own super form. Then we also have the fact that Shockwave could just use the secret dinosaurs as his own power source, considering they are, again, one of the strongest and most volatile members, just with raw power in general. And then he could also make the Eoraptor. And I think Shockwave would definitely go this route within just regular experimentation. Now, if you guys don't know, the Eoraptor, or the Eoraptor, whichever one you really want to pronounce it, is a secret dinosaur that can bend every element. Okay? He can shapeshift into all these other dinosaurs, a Styracosaurus, Stegosaurus, I believe a sauropod of some sort, and then a hadrosaur as well. So basically he could bend all these elements, all 6 elements he can bend, right? So he's able to do all that and use every amount of move in the book. That's something Shockwave would create, okay? Now, do I think Shockwave would have this dinosaur on him? Yes. I think he would keep this dinosaur on. And I want y'all to really sit down, right? And think about this for a minute. The Eoraptor can manipulate every single element. Fire, wind, lightning, grass, earth, all right? All 6 elements, all right? He can manipulate all that, turning into different dinosaurs. As you guys see right here, he can turn all to these dinosaurs, right? Bending all their elements and using every single move possible. Shockwave, having this dinosaur as his main fighter, makes perfect sense. Because there is no way you can predict what he'll use next. Keep in mind, he would be able to heal himself with the Lambeosaurus, being able to speed blitz with the Megaraptor, overpower with the Saurophagonex, and then defend himself with the Stegosaurus, and then pierce through any defense with the Styracosaurus. I also think it would be interesting, and he would definitely be able to do this, create an entire army of super dinosaurs. No, I want y'all to think about it. He would definitely do something like this, right? Because imagine him wanting this entire army to be able to conquer everything across space and time with his Regenesis program. And the thing is, Shockwave did have an army in the Regenesis Shockwave storyline, or the Dark Cybertron storyline. He had these beings that could manipulate the concept of Ore 2, which was death. So imagine him having an entire army of dinosaurs, and we know he's capable of making Cybertronian, armor, or making concepts into armor. So imagine him giving these dinosaurs not only their own element booster armor, probably similar to the original dinosaurs, just for like storyline sake and stuff like that, but also him being able to give them super forms on top of it. There would be nothing to stop him at all. The only way I could see them being able to win is if Zeth trying to out dinosaur him. He has to create a dinosaur beyond that kind of combination. And I definitely think it will probably be possible. And the only way he could possibly do it is if they use a dinosaur they really haven't. But it's also possible that if he and Shockwave really get into a contest, it's possible that they might do something similar to how Jurassic World the game does, creating these enhanced dinosaurs that can just simply come back. We could possibly see the return of the Black T-Rex, maybe even a super version of it, and maybe Shockwave outdoes him again. I mean, think about it. This is something that logically Shockwave can do. Because again, Black T-Rex was supposed to be a dinosaur beyond dinosaurs, essentially a god of the verse for the first season. But yet, we have to talk about the sheer fact that Shockwave will always be one step ahead of everybody. The only way you could really beat this guy is if you do something he just doesn't predict. Or you have to find a way to outsmart him. And these guys have not shown that. Dr. Z could be a wild card, but again, he's like Plankton. He's a dumb smart person. Like, the dude just fumbles the bag when he has a clear advantage. There is no way he could possibly outsmart Shockwave. But at the end of the day, that's going to be all here, you guys. I think Shockwave would honestly enjoy the verse, but, he would probably overdo it and just start making dinosaur super soldiers again and probably be able to do it far better than the others. But that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe, and share it with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day, and stick around for the next video. Peace.